Hello, and welcome to Russia-Ukraine News, where we cover every latest on Russian invasion on Ukraine. Please make sure to subscribe and like the video. A former F-35 test pilot weighed in on the fighter jet's performance in the Ukraine conflict and how it represents a massive leap forward from Cold War-era aircraft. Billy Flynn contends the F-35 is so different from Soviet Cold War fighters that pilots used to the latter would be unable to transition to the F-35. Flynn also thinks the F-35 is the most survivable aircraft for the dangerous skies over Ukraine. One of the most noted authorities on the F-35 has some interesting things to say about the jet, including how it would fit in with European air forces and how suitable the fighter is for the air war over Ukraine. Billy Flynn, a former Lockheed Martin test pilot, also talked about how the jet represents a massive leap forward from older, Soviet-designed fighter jets, noting that the pilots who trained them would be unable to learn how to fly the F-35. Flynn also believes the F-35 is the only jet that can survive in the lethal air environment over Ukraine. Billy Flynn is one of the most accomplished test pilots around. Flynn originally flew CF-18 Hornets for the Royal Canadian Air Force and later flew as a test pilot for the Eurofighter Typhoon. He later went on to fly for Lockheed Martin for 17 years, from 2003 to 2020, in support of the Joint Strike Fighter program. Flynn is a big fan of the F-35, and if there's anyone who knows the jet inside and out, it's him. In a wide-ranging interview with The Aviationist, Flynn touched upon a number of points about the F-35. One of the most interesting is his assertion that pilots in Eastern European countries that still fly Soviet-era fighters are just going to be unable to fly a fifth-generation jet like the F-35. 3 NATO countries, Slovakia, Bulgaria, and Poland, still fly the Soviet MiG-29 fighter jet, classified by NATO in the 1980s as the Fulcrum. The MiG-29, designed in the late 1970s, is the equivalent of the American F-16 Fighting Falcon. The collapse of the Warsaw Pact in 1989 and the absorption of most countries into NATO means that some countries fly both MiG-29s and F-16s. And, as it continues to modernize, Poland will soon be in the unique position of flying MiG-29s, F-16s, and F-35s. Does this mean a Polish pilot could fly all three? Not so fast, says Flynn. He contends that pilots that have flown Soviet-era fighters for the bulk of their careers would simply be unable to effectively fly the F-35. The MiG-29 is a completely different aircraft built with different design philosophies in mind. The MiG also lacks the technological sophistication of the F-35, from the stealthy design to the distributed aperture system that allows the pilot to see through the sight of his aircraft. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this edition of the news. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time. Bye.